same fate. Bludgeoned, stabbed, left to die beside the woman he'd built a life with. But it didn't end there. In the hallway just outside the bedroom, Gomes made another devastating discovery. Kimberly's 17-year-old sister, Julia. Her body was crumpled on the floor. Unlike her parents, she hadn't gone without a fight. Her arm was broken, likely in self-defense. Her face and neck were punctured with multiple stab wounds. Whoever had come into that house had been relentless. They hadn't just wanted to kill, they wanted to destroy. Within minutes, the Wilson home was a fully active crime scene. Yellow tape, cameras, gloved hands carefully collecting fragments of a family shattered beyond recognition. 4 members of one household, mother, father, and 2 daughters, now all victims of a massacre that had started with Kimberly. Police strayed into something much bigger. The question now wasn't just who had done this, it was why. And how could someone, anyone, do something this savage, this calculated, and walk away? What detectives would uncover next would answer those questions. But the truth would be darker than anything they were prepared for. As the full weight of the Wilson family massacre sank into the community, Bellevue detectives sprang into action. This wasn't just another homicide. It was the systematic slaughter of an entire family in their own home. Someone had walked into that house with the intent to wipe out every last member. There were no signs of forced entry. This was definitely not a robbery gone wrong. It was personal and with a purpose. Detectives knew that whoever was behind this didn't just want the Wilsons dead, they wanted them obliterated. Investigators began going around in the neighborhood. They went door to door, asking anyone who lived nearby if they'd seen or heard anything unusual. But in a place like Bellevue, where everyone minds their own business, and violence is something that happens somewhere else, few had anything useful to say. No one heard screams or loud bangs. It was just another quiet night in suburbia. They turned to the Wilson backgrounds. Bill was a respected engineer. His co-workers described him as solid, dependable. One of those guys who showed up early and stayed late. His boss called him loyal, the kind of employee you could always count on. Rose, his wife, worked in retail. Her co-workers said she was warm, outgoing, always smiling. Julia, their youngest, was a senior in high school, quiet, shy, sweet, her classmates said. The kind of girl who didn't make waves. Nothing added up. They were a normal family. They had no enemies whatsoever. But when detectives started looking closer at Kimberly, the daughter whose body had been discovered in the park, they started finding small cracks in the picture-perfect frame. Kim had graduated from the same high school Julia still attended. On the surface, she was just another young woman trying to figure life out. But her school counselor remembered things differently. She recalled tension between Kim and her parents, especially during her final years in school. There were some arguments between them, the kind of slow-building strain that doesn't explode overnight, but develops quietly behind closed doors. That tension, turned out, hadn't gone unnoticed. Records showed that a year before the murders, the neighborhood actually called the police to report a domestic disturbance at the Wilson home, reporting screaming and fighting. The usual stuff of teenage rebellion, but looking back now, it felt like an early warning sign no one had really understood. Detectives dug deeper. They began reaching out to Kimberly's circle, her friends, classmates,